Hi followers, this one has come up quite a bit lately in questions and comments on my channels and my social media. So I thought I would quickly for you identify 5 warning signs that you might be in an unhealthy relationship or one that is psychologically or physically abusive. My number 1 warning sign is if you notice you are with someone who is suffocating you. So suffocation involves having poor boundaries, being overly jealous of other people that you hang out with or spend time with, wanting to kind of know where you are at all times or wanting to track you, asking a lot of questions about your past and present in order to kind of find out information about you. People with suffocation issues will also try and very early on in relationships be over committed to you. It's almost like an attempt for them to kind of lock you down and ensure that you cannot leave them. The reason it's a warning sign is because it usually indicates that a person does not have good boundaries and that they may not be confident in relationships. This behavior may lead to my next concerning behavior, which is number 2, isolation. Abusers or people who may turn into abusers quite often will try and isolate you. They want you to only rely on them, so they will try and break your connections or support systems with other people. The most concerning of these behaviors is when they start to pick apart your friends or even your family members and try to cut you off from them. The reason that abusers will do this is because if they are able to isolate you, it ensures that they are your only support. In this way, you can't leave an abuser because you don't have anywhere else to go. Isolation is a concerning behavior because it leads to what is called traumatic bonding. So you may have arguments or traumatic incidents with your partner or with the person you are in a relationship with, and they are your only support system. So you have to go to them for trauma which they have caused. And this causes a process called trauma bonding, where you feel close to the person who has actually caused you harm. Number 3 is that a person who may be abusive or unhealthy in a relationship quite often will blame other people and you for their emotions. You might notice this early in a relationship where your partner may talk about other people in their lives in a very negative way or blame them for situations that may have been caused by them themselves. If you're with someone who never takes responsibility for their own anger, sadness, or negative actions in their interpersonal relationships, then that could be a sign that they blame others and that they externalize their emotions and do not take responsibility for them. The reason it's concerning is that over time, this will turn onto you and your partner will blame you for every negative response they have. They may also blame you for life situations that you cannot control. Number 4 is verbal abuse, and it comes out of blame quite often. In arguments, someone who may be abusive may not respect boundaries, and so they will verbally abuse you in inappropriate ways that are outside of healthy kind of argumentative styles. So they will put you down based on things that are very sensitive to you. They will take it way too far in terms of what they say. And this may be their only go-to. If you try and leave the argument, they will quite often get even more angry with you and will put you down further. The reason this is a really concerning behavior is because it marks a lack of self-control that could lead to number 5, which is threats of violence or physical violence. If you are in a relationship where someone is threatening violence towards you, this is like your final warning sign. You should probably seek help outside of the relationship at this point, and quite often those who have already gotten to that place of violence will not change after that. Violence and violent behavior can be predicted in certain ways. So if someone is quite frequently violent outside of your relationship, that may be a concerning behavior. If they very freely talk about violence and are okay with violence as a means of solving a lot of conflicts, then that could be a concern too. Now, other markers of violence may be sometimes playful violence within relationships if it's taken too far and partners don't understand boundaries around that. And the other one is also sexual. So sometimes in relationships, people are violent sexually towards their partner, and that is a concerning behavior in some ways. The reason being that they may not respect those physical boundaries that you have. If you have been in a violent incident with your partner, or if you have been violent towards a partner, this might mean that you need some help kind of managing that anger, and also maybe that you don't quite understand those boundaries or realize them. This can be related to childhood, it can be related to a variety of different factors, and how we're socialized as well. So don't be afraid to seek help, but also if you are in a relationship like this, be aware that it may not change, and that you probably will need some help outside of the relationship to make you feel safe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that if you have questions or concerns, you comment below. If you have further videos you'd like me to expand on regarding relationships and healthy boundaries, I can definitely do that. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram, Counseling, my Twitter, and my website, all listed below. Thanks so much.